On the top of page 9I, we have a chart that is titled the Total Cost Curve. And since you have both of those charts in front of you, I'm not hiding anything from you. Just take a look up here. I've got mine in a color version. I'm going to borrow your overhead projector masking device. And just kind of hide that so it doesn't confuse you, but you've got one so you know what it is. I want to stay right up here for a minute, all right? We're going to build a business on this chart. Now, admittedly, it's going to be super simple, but it is getting you ready to apply the concepts. Okay, just, Robin, you have been a very, very clever saver and investor. What you've done over the last few years is watch the tax rolls on industrial commercial building. You've gone in, bought them for tax, boarded them up, and sat there and did a real nice tax scheme, okay? Your cash flow is minimal and your appreciation is growing. The city's going to be gentrified and you're going to be rich someday with all these old little buildings. One little building you bought a few years ago was an old dairy garage. I used to have the dairy trucks come in and transfer point. And nice little box building and a few feet of office. You own this building, okay? Now I need somebody to go into business with. Nancy, you go into business with me? Okay, you could do worse. Now, Nancy, let's do an MO on you and me. You are one hell of a good salesman. Your forte is you are great, all right? I'm pretty good as a salesman, too, and I also have the ability to draw some yellow lines and do some organizing. So you're going to be the outside person, and I'm going to be the inside person and part outside. I'm going to kind of run the office, the warehouse, and sell. You're going to sell 100%. We're 50-50 partners, and we go into this business, all right? We'll tell them later how much we invested when we look at a balance sheet, but right now we're just going to make a nice simple business. We're not taking any salaries or anything, and I'll tell you what we're going to sell. We have discovered that we can make money by selling units of roofing to roofing contractors in the residential marketplace if we can warehouse the stuff locally and service the hell out of them, okay? So what we've decided to do is open a roofing distributor business. The first thing we need to do is make some decisions. What's the name of it going to be? And we decide all that stuff. And where is it going to be? And we decide that. And then we have to say things like, okay, we're going to buy a building or rent a building. And you and I think about it and we say, you know what, we don't know how this business is going to go. The first couple of years would be smart for us to rent it. And we look around and we find Robin Olson with this dairy garage, which would be perfect for our startup business. And we negotiate with Robin for $400 a month rent for a 1-year lease. Her rent, fixed or variable? Fixed, right? Now let me throw a curve at you. Greg and Rita, you own a drive-in movie. And you rent the movie once a week and show it. You pay $1,000 this week for a hot movie called Lethal Weapon 2. The rental of that movie, fixed or variable?
It's fixed for that week, but for that one movie it's fixed.
Excellent. Next week, it's a bad week. Kids are back to school. Nobody's going to come to the drive-in. So you two guys decide to rent some really dumb movie, Cocktail. And you only have to pay $300 for it for the week. How come it changed if it's fixed? It's within the accounting period, okay?
Well, it's a different product. It's like a different product line. I mean, it's the same basic categories, but it's like a Pinto and a Cadillac.
But it's still a fixed cost, isn't it, to your business? Okay. Now, Rita, the week that we rented Lethal Weapon 2, filled the place up. It was busier than hell. And some people tried to drive away with the speakers on their windows and broke them off. So you got higher maintenance costs that week, fixed or variable. Yeah, because the week you rent Cocktail, nobody shows up, so you don't have any maintenance costs on the speakers at all. Okay, the projectionist salary, fixed or variable. Okay, it doesn't matter that nobody came the second week. You all see that. So, Nancy, Robin makes a deal with us and her rent is fixed. And we're going to make this nice and simple. It's the only fixed cost we have. And in a total cost curve, I want you to think of that cost as the green line. The bottom of this line is number of units of sales, and we won't make those dollars, Nancy. We'll think of those in terms of roofs. Okay? We'll put a dollar revenue on it later, but right now that's it. Now the first month, we're busier than hell. First of all, your dairy grass was filthy, and we had to clean it out. That was part of the deal, and paint some lines and get some. And we had to get some. The telephone people in there and all kinds of stuff. So that month, Nancy, you and I both were in our overalls working our butts off in the warehouse. We didn't sell any units. Robin stopped by and asked for her $400 rent. She doesn't care that we didn't sell any units. So our fixed and total costs were the same. You got that? Now, Clark is a very enterprising young man. Clark knows how to turn a buck. A few years ago, Clark went into business. He calls himself the Clark Hauling Service. He bought himself a nice box truck, and you have a forklift, and he's an honest guy. He will deliver anything anywhere that's legal for 25 bucks an hour. So we have to make a decision, Nancy. Should we buy a truck and hire a driver, or should we use somebody like Clark?
No.
It has nothing to do with him. It has everything to do with us.
Speeding tickets.
Here's our real problem, Nancy. If we buy the truck, we have a monthly payment on the truck, even if business isn't any good. And we probably have to make a deal with the truck driver, guarantee him so many hours a week. So that's fixed cost. So let me tell you what I'm going to vote for. Until I am certain that we can cost justify the purchase of a truck, I want to use an outside carrier. Fixed or variable? Variable, because if we don't call you, you don't charge us. Now here's your deal. Every time Nancy or I sell something, we do the paperwork and we mail it to you. It has a delivery date on it and all the information. You have a key to the warehouse. So what you do is take your truck and you come into our warehouse that morning, load your truck, take it to the contractor, get him to sign off on it, go like this with your stopwatch, and you send us a bill. Now we're going to look into the future and develop what amounts to a standard cost. He can do that on average about for 4 hours. At 25 bucks an hour, every time he delivers a roof, it costs us 100 bucks. Okay? So when we look at it on a total cost curve, 1 unit, because he's going to, can you see that's purple? Yeah, that's purple. One unit of variable cost from Clark cost us $100. 4 hours at 25 bucks an hour. When he delivers 2 units, it costs us 200 bucks, 3 units, 300 bucks, etc. Now, it's not going to work like that in real life for very long, and that's when the marginal increment of utility is going to pull in. But that never shows up on the total cost curve. That only shows up on that bottom chart, and I'll show you how that works later. So right now, let's take a look at our business. Nancy, let's forget for a minute that we probably have to pay for these roofs, because I don't want to complicate this business. What we have is a revenue line. We wind up selling a roof for about $300. So let's just put that in. 1 roof, 300 bucks. This is revenue. Now, Nancy comes in, and I'm still screwing around trying to build an office out of some wallboard and finding some used furniture and paint lines, and she said, I sold the first roof. So we have a little bit of a party, and congratulations. We send the paperwork to Clark, and in that month, Clark sends us a bill for 100 bucks, variable cost. Our real estate lady, Robin, sends us the bill for the 400. So we have a total cost of 500, and we had a revenue of 300. That's not good, Robin. You know that, right?
I didn't know until just now.
Okay. So you can all see how we lost money in this simple business? All right. Nancy phones in from the field the next month and says, are you ready for this? I sold 2 roofs. Yay, Nan. And I happened to be there with one of my really brilliant friends, and he said, geez, I'm sorry to hear this. That's why is that? He said, well, you guys lost $200 on 1 roof. You're obviously going to lose $400 on 2 roofs. And I say, Sledge, that's not the way it works. And you're all going like this. Now articulate why it doesn't work that way. Somebody tell me why if I lost $200 selling one row, I'm not going to lose $400 selling two rows.
Because of fixed costs.
Yeah. Your fixed costs will be divided by...
Okay, that's the word I need. So fixed cost tends to be divided by the number of units. Okay, now we start to pick up some of the buzzwords from our good old accountants, burden cost. Now just think of every unit as a beast of burden. Think of them as a donkey. And if you only have one unit of sale, the donkey has to carry all of the fixed costs. These are very fair donkeys. The minute you sell 2 units, these donkeys automatically split it equally. All right? Now, let's invoke an Italian accounting system for a minute, see? The next month, we get our bill from Clark, and we send him $200. But when Robin comes by for her $400, I give her 2 checks, one for $200 each. She says, "Why are you doing this?" I said, "Well, because the fixed cost is divided by the units, and we sold 2 units." Don't write on the screen. So now we have 2 units of sale. This $200, this $400 gives us $600, and if the revenue line is $300 per unit, we now have $600 worth of revenue. We have reached a magic spot in this business. What's it called?
Break-even.
So now we know something, Nan. We don't sleep anymore until we sell minimum 2 units a month. So you call a board meeting and you say, enough with the yellow lines. I mean, I've sold all the units. How about coming out and helping me? So next month, the 3rd month in business, you sell 2 units and I sell 1. We are now out here. Our buddy Clark gets $300. Robin gets $400. That's a total of $700. What's the revenue line? 900. So we made some money. Nice and simple, right?